everybody, welcome back to my rapid fire for all the movies that I saw in April. Let's continue. Based on true events, Olivia Colman receives nasty letters and thinks Jessie Buckley did it, but she claims she didn't. I didn't laugh that much, but it's supplemented with an abundance of charm. Alone, Colman and Buckley are incredible talents, but put them together and you have a match made in heaven. They are fantastic together, bounce off of each other as easily as peanut butter and jelly. Both of their characters are complex, endearing, and oodles of fun to watch. The story itself is also fairly compelling, though how accurate it is to the real events, I don't know. Still, there are some fair twists and turns that made me immediately want to watch this again. And supporting cast Timothy Spall and Anja Vassan stole my heart in their own ways. I can't recommend this enough, especially if you like British comedies. A must-see. My honest rating for Wicked Little Letters, a 5 out of 5.
I can't see why they think it's me. Some of the verge of making history here. I was a bit roisterous once or twice.
Dawson was in love with London. London dies and never gets to tell her. He finds out that she has a sister and sets out to find her. It's schmaltzy as hell and definitely not for me. Harmless enough, but kind of icky-ish. The premise itself is ridiculous. Will he or will he not fall in love with his dead lady friend's twin sister? There's no version of this that will feel justified. I'm being cynical, obviously. This is brought up, but it still leaves a bad taste in my mouth. The biggest frustration is that there's no distinguishing personalities between London and Andy. Both are just perfect little angels with million-dollar all-American smiles. I can't deny that the performances are mostly good though, and the faith-based aspects are secured in the back seat, so I appreciate that. It's a date movie, and I'm sure this is gonna find its audience, but I ain't it. My honest rating for Someone Like You, a week 3 out of 5.
Do I look like London?
Yeah.
I want to know everything about her.
Based on true events, set in the 50s, a young Hispanic golf team enters a series of tournaments for respect. It's a feel-good underdog sports drama. Doesn't do anything new, but it works. It's exactly what you think it's about. 50s, Hispanic kids following a coach who believes in them. Facing racism from white people. Parent doesn't believe in the main kid. Yeah, you know the drill. These movies live and die on the characters and acting. And thankfully, the performances are great. Jay Hernandez, Dennis I've Seen Some Shit, Quaid, and Julian Works carry the film very well, with Cheech Marin stealing the show. Some comedy doesn't land, especially from Oscar Nunez, and the disapproving dad gets a bit over the top, but these are small issues. Not much more to say, typical, but it makes you smile where it counts. Recommended. My honest rating for The Long Game, a 4 out of 5.
Sorry, boys. When we spoke on the phone, I assumed you were American.
Well, you assume right.
A little girl unknowingly cares for an alien spider that gets bigger really fast and starts killing everyone in the apartment. This is a very well-made creature feature, but a bit generic in its execution. Having already seen a horror film take place in an apartment complex where a monster kills everyone, this was never gonna live up to that. But take it as is. It's a fascinating watch, as I'm curious to know how much of Sting is CGI versus animatronic or puppet, because it looks great. The problem is pretty much everything else, which felt disconnected from the film. There's a lot of familial drama that takes center stage, and it's incredibly uninteresting. Frankly, it gets in the way of the movie, but the acting is committed in spite of that, so it works. Some spider spookums are better than this, but it has entertainment value, so I say go see it. My honest rating for Sting, a strong 3 out of 5.
What kind of spider are we talking about here? A big one.
Set during World War II, Irena Gut works as a housekeeper for a Nazi major and secretly hides a group of Jewish people in his home. This was a fascinating story. It has its issues, but wow is it harrowing. The only real problems I care to point out are that the cast is pretty bloated, and I couldn't keep any character's name straight, or fully distinguish their personalities. And the ending is an obvious rush job. Beyond that, the main actress who plays Irena is as talented as she is gorgeous. I was constantly engaged to what she was doing and why. There are so many scenes where I was on the edge of my seat, wondering how these people were going to survive, and it never disappointed. It gets pretty graphic, unnecessarily so at times, but at its core, it's powerful and captivating. Not for the faint of heart, but it is a triumphant and rewarding movie that's worth checking out. My honest rating for Irena's Vow, a strong 4 out of 5.
I made a vow then if I ever could save a life, I would.
But if anything goes wrong, we all pay the price.
A group of kidnappers are locked in a sealed house with a ballerina vampire little girl who kills them off one by one. This was a lot of fun. If you've seen Ready or Not, then you know. This movie knows it's a silly idea and rolls with it. Lighter horror flicks like this live and die off the writing and charisma of the on-screen talent, and that's where it excels. Melissa Barrera carries the film very well, but the side characters practically steal the show. You love to hate Dan Stevens. Catherine Newton is a treasure, as always. Even Kevin Durant was a lovable oaf. But the real star was Alicia Weir, who ran the gamut of emotions as Abigail. Frail, scared girl, scary-ass monster, even a weirdly sympathetic girl just wants to be loved. This was a blast. If you like your lighter, violent horror romps, see this. My honest rating for Abigail, a 5 out of 5.
What can I say? I like playing with my food.
Whoa! She's fucking flying!
A group of less than savory gentlemen set out to steal a warship from the Nazis. It took me a minute to adjust, as this is more of a spy movie than an action, but it is a lot of fun. Guy Ritchie knows how to pick great talent and brings out the best in them. Henry Cavill is great. Alan Ritchson is fun. I'm usually not crazy about Isa Gonzalez, but she almost stole the show, and her chemistry with main baddie Till Schweiger was fantastic. The story is intriguing and expertly throws in obstacle after obstacle to change the initial plans. The action is awesome. Everything from bows and arrows, machine guns, and battleship artillery, it never gets old. Not all the side characters get a lot to chew on, so they're kinda just there, but it's Guy Ritchie. It's not a typical Ritchie outing, but it works. Definitely getting a high recommendation. My honest rating for The Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare, a strong 4 out of 5.
You won't like them. They're all... No! Mad. They'll need to be.
Sofia Boutella and her merry band of fighters train the villagers to fight against the threat of invasion by Ed Skrein and his space Nazis. If you were underwhelmed by part 1, part 2 is even worse. Boring as hell. It's a 2-hour flick. It's only in the final 45 minutes or so that the action starts. What does this do with the first hour and 15 minutes? A whole hell of a lot of talking. Anything interesting? Not especially. Just context as to why everyone in this posse hates the space Nazis, and slow-mo farming. Because Zack Snyder! You know it's a bad sign of a film's quality when Farming Simulator is more exciting. As per usual, I can't hate on Sophia. She's too awesome for me to not love, even if I don't really care about her character, or any of them really. I hope part 3 comes out sooner than later and then we can be done with this, but hard pass either way. My honest rating for Rebel Moon Part 2 The Scargiver, a weak 3 out of 5 for Sofia Boutella alone.
A scar. From the SCARGIVER herself.
A lesbian woman's partner dies of cancer and promises to take care of her children even though she never really wanted to be a mother. I don't like it nearly as much as I want to. It's not bad, I just think it's melodramatic and kind of a cliche. When I say cliche, I don't mean the story. That's different and a hell of a setup for compelling drama. Taking care of a family that isn't mine? I'm stressed just thinking about it. Can't imagine the pressure of actually doing it. And credit where credit is due, the acting is committed and certain plot points are wonderfully executed. Specifically when the eldest daughter wants to live with her grandmother and finds out how crazy and borderline abusive she is. That said, she's the cliche I was talking about. All she does is cause drama and make an already hard situation even harder. Other characters aren't likable, and others sort of exist to be personalities, not characters. There's good intentions here and certainly has its moments, it's just not my cup of tea. My honest rating for Housekeeping for Beginners, a strong 3 out of 5. A family of Sasquatches seek a new home while colliding with both the dangers of the wilderness and the world of man. Went in blind, and dear Lord, this is not what I was expecting, and that is a good thing. It's definitely an art house flick. You do not recognize Jesse Eisenberg or Riley Keough, though I guess Riley is easily identifiable being the only female Sasquatch. But with all that hair, mind out of the gutter. Actually, this does have a twisted perversion to it at times, so I guess keep dunking your head in that sewage all you want. There's no spoken dialogue, so the acting is entirely in the body language. There's no complex story, though when they encounter a long road, their reaction to the pavement might as well be framed as cinematic gold. Remember, ladies, if you hate it, lactate on it. There's shameless nudity and sex, but it's all weird fun. It's a bizarre sit, and that's kind of why I like it. It won't be for everyone, but I still say give it a shot. My honest rating for Sasquatch Sunset, a strong 4 out of 5. A mutant deaf boy grows up to be a buff as fuck Pennywise who seeks revenge against Jean Grey, who had his mother and sister murdered. I had such a good time. So funny, so bloody, ooh, so bloody. My inner sociopath is quite happy. The story isn't anything unique, but the violent packaging is where everything comes together. Skarsgård has zero dialogue and is entirely voiced by Archer. I enjoyed his relationship with the imaginary younger sister, and actually, the performances all around were damn solid. Brett Gelman, Michelle Dockery, Isaiah Mustafa, the ever-amazing Charlton Copley, and my two personal favorites, Famke Janssen as the ultimate baddie, the paranoid as fuck Hilda Vanderkoy, and Jessica Roth's reveal as the big bad henchwoman June 27. If you have the time to try and kill Pennywise, you have the time to make Happy Death Day 3, woman! Not much more to say. If you're an action junkie, you need to see this. My honest rating for Boy Kills World, a strong 4 out of 5.
Welcome to the Resistance.
Yeah, go team.
Thanks so much for watching, you guys. I really appreciate it. Have a great day. Stay safe and healthy out there. Hope to see you soon.